In today's short video, I'll be going over the 5 things I wish I knew before I purchased a virtual reality headset for sim racing. So if you're thinking of sim racing in VR or switching to VR, this should be very helpful to you, and I highly recommend you keep in mind the things I'm going to mention. But just one thing before we get started, and I hate doing this because I hate wasting people's time, but literally 99% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you're into high quality, no fuss sim racing content, consider subscribing. It would be very much appreciated, and it's completely free. Also, I should mention that the following 5 things I'm going to mention are not put in any specific order. Anyways, let's get right into it. At number 5, I wish I knew that a lot of the games are not compatible with VR. I wasn't expecting compatibility for every sim racing title, but I expected more games to offer support. Some of the most popular games such as the F1 series and the Forza franchise are not compatible, and although some might argue that these games aren't true sims, I would have liked to have the option to play them in VR nonetheless. Coming in at number 4, I wish I knew that some games simply don't look good in VR. Virtual reality users still make up only a fraction of the player base, so most developers create a game perfectly optimized for everyone else playing on traditional screens, and then quickly add VR support as an afterthought to appeal to a larger audience. Although it's great that some games do offer support, many of them simply don't look great regardless of how high the graphic settings are set. Most notably for me, Dirt Rally 2 and Assetto Corsa Competizione have never looked great, and since the main reason most people go with VR is for the immersion, this definitely takes away from it. Thinking about it, I'll make a video in the future talking about the best looking sim racing games for VR, so make sure to stay tuned for that. The third thing I wish I knew is that sim racing in VR does put a strain on your eyes. I've talked about this in other videos, but I'll say it here as well. Pretty much when you're racing online, or just racing in general I should say, you're focused nearly 100% of the time, and any small mistake or lack in judgment will result in either you losing time or completely spinning out and crashing. So unlike other types of virtual reality games where you can afford to lose focus and relax, sim racing will require all of your attention. As a result, I've noticed that for me at least, after about half an hour of racing, I feel discomfort in my eyes, and I'm pretty much forced to take a break. Obviously, this will vary from person to person, but I think it's important nonetheless. I know what some of you guys are thinking, and no, my eyes do not get nearly as exhausted with triple monitors, probably because they aren't 2 inches away from my face. Number 2, I should have considered that the setup process can get annoying after a while. Now let me explain. After a long day of work, all I want to do is go to my rig, sit down, and play. And when I don't play with VR, that's exactly what happens. But whenever I want to play in virtual reality, I need to plug in the base stations, turn on the headset, make sure everything is calibrated, turn on Steam VR, properly strap in the headset. Once in game, I need to readjust the view so that I'm in the correct spot, and only then can I get to racing. Now while this might not seem like too big of a deal, it gets extremely annoying after a while when all you want to do is play and don't have the time or the patience to set everything up. Finally, at number 1, having a VR headset strapped onto your face can get quite uncomfortable after a while, especially when sim racing. Now I will admit that this will vary tremendously from headset to headset, but either way, having something strapped onto your head and against your face tends to get annoying for me at least after a while. For example, if you're racing and you need to scratch your eye, well, good luck. Furthermore, I've heard some people tend to sweat from having the headset on for a long time, so that's something to consider as well. Overall, while it's not anything terrible that I would consider a deal breaker, it's more uncomfortable than playing with screens, so keep that in mind. Anyways, those have been the 5 things I wish I knew when I first started sim racing. If you're considering VR or triple monitors, I've also created a separate video on that topic, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. Anyways, I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? And what do you think of VR for sim racing as a whole? Well, with all that being said, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.